Hi there friends, Debbie here with Debbie Gets Crafty, and we are working on our beautiful birdhouse plaque today. And so let's get started. I think we're going to work on this middle section here, the birdhouse, the hole for the birdhouse, the entrance for the birdhouse. So let's go ahead and get started. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing well. I'm doing great. No sense in complaining about the weather. It's going to do what it's going to do. You know what I mean? So let's see here, the letter N. We'll work on this lower part right here, the letter N, and see how far that'll get us. Ooh, this is a pretty chocolate brown. There we go. Isn't that pretty? Nice chocolate brown. Chocolate. All right, so let's get started. I am going to zoom you in and then I'll figure out the angle in a second. There we go. Tilt that like that. Yeah, that'll work. All right, grab my pen. Put a little waxy poo on it. There we go, little wax. And let's get started. So yeah, it's been hot, so really that'll do it for the weather, but I want to know how you all are doing. Hope everybody is feeling good. Hope everybody is doing good. There we go. This is such a pretty picture. We have so many interesting birds around our place. We get lots of cardinals, which I absolutely love. If you know me, you know cardinals are my favorite bird. But we also do get blue jays and red-breasted robins and all kinds of different little, almost like chickadee birds. Just really fascinating species of birds. Hummingbirds. I love hummingbirds. Next to cardinals, hummingbirds are my favorite. And just really interesting species of birds. We'll sit out on our back deck to have coffee in the morning. And, you know, with it being summertime, the sun is up at, you know, it gets brighter at about 5 o'clock. So, like, we're usually out there between 5:30 and 6 sitting down having coffee and just listening to the birds. And we have some squirrels that play in the trees, and Spoto is out there fetching his ball. He's obsessed. He's obsessed. That dog is obsessed with playing fetch. But he loves it. He loves running around his yard. He loves fetching the ball. But we sit out there and we listen to all the sounds, and we are you can hear the major thoroughfares in the distance, but it's way in the distance, so it's not like you're hearing traffic right, you know, really loudly. You hear it in the distance, and it's not really that bad at all. We don't live around any like interstates or anything where you would hear that type of traffic. I mean, you do have like some roads that are quite busy near us, but we're far enough off the path, off the main roads to where you just hear them in the distance. So that's not too bad. So it's pretty quiet where we live. And it's just nice to sit out there and listen to nature. Some people that live in the city would be like, yeah, it's too quiet. Me, I like it just like that. But you know what? I guess if you live in a place long enough, you get used to the sounds. And that's when, like somebody from the city would be like, no, it's too quiet. They need to have that sound of the, that background white noise of the city. When we lived in Kentucky, I gotta load up my pen with some wax. When we lived in Kentucky, when we moved into the house that we rented for a couple years there in Kentucky, middle of the night, train goes through. Didn't even realize that we were going to hear it, and they blew their whistle. Scared the you-know-what out of me. And I never thought I'd get used to it. I thought, oh my gosh, is this what we're going to have to live with? But it didn't take any time at all, where after a while, that train would come through, it would blow its whistle in the middle of the night. I'd wake up and hear it, and then I'd go right back to sleep. And it didn't bother me at all. I didn't think it would. Yeah, I never thought I'd get used to it, but I did. It's funny with noises and such. Like when we go camping, of course you're out in in nature, you're outside, so you're going to hear all the crickets and the frogs and all that. And that first night, the first night that we camp, I have a very hard time sleeping. But by the second night, it puts me right to sleep. Those sounds. It's crazy. Now, we heard the last time we went camping, it was in October, and the sun went down. We sat by the fire for a little while, and then we decided to go to bed. We're laying in bed, and of course you're hearing, in October you don't hear the bugs as much, the crickets and all that jazz, but you still hear some of them, of course. But all of a sudden, in the distance, the far distance, way far, like on the other side of the mountains, but you could hear them, coyotes, a pack of coyotes. They started, and I sat up on my air mattress so fast, and I said to Todd, "Oh my gosh, do you think they're close? Do you think they're close?" He says, "No, honey, they're like on the other side of the mountain." I mean, but you could really hear them. Now, you could hear them changing directions. And they were coming in, you know, they were moving towards our direction. But again, so far away. I mean, we had absolutely zero to worry about. But that was actually the first time we ever heard that. And we had been camping for years and never heard that. And if we did, we never paid attention to it. But we did this time. And it was the most fascinating and unnerving sound to hear. But then, you know, I mean, they only howled for a little bit, for a very short time, and then all of a sudden the howling stopped. Now they did, in the middle of the night, we heard some howling in the distance, but then that was very, you know, just for a few minutes, and then it stopped. And that's the last we heard of it for the rest of the trip. But it was really very interesting. I'd never heard, I don't recall ever hearing that before. So, and it just never dawned on me. I mean, listen, we were camping in their backyard. So, it only stands to reason you're gonna hear them. Alrighty-roo, let's do the letter C. I think we're going to finish this little opening here. We'll do the letter C, and then there's the letter E. We're probably going to go a little over, but that's okay. We normally do. Every time I think we're going to finish like at 15 minutes, I always keep you a little longer. Sometimes, honestly, sometimes the noise that bothers me and keeps me awake sometimes can be the bullfrogs. Oh my gosh, they can be so loud. But you know what? When you're in that air, when you're outside in the air, the fresh air, in the mountains, you know, camping, there's times where a freight train could go through and you're so tired from getting out in that fresh air all day that you just zonk right out. That's what I love. But being a dog mom, I always sleep with one eye open and one ear listening, just in case our pupper needs us. So, and the last time we camped, we had little Miss Liberty, and she had her illness that I was always super alert for. In case she needed us. And now with Spoto, when we start camping next year, hopefully, we'll be able to camp next year. It'll be his first time camping, so of course I'll be super nervous about that. I'm sure he's going to do just fine though in the tent. All right, my friends, we are done with this particular portion. We finished that opening. So I'll pull you back so you can see the full, there we go, the full picture. Isn't that pretty? It's coming along so nice. So I guess maybe next time we'll work a little bit on this area right here. Get that all taken care of, and then we'll start moving over. And then we'll move up and then over. So we're doing really well. Thank you so much for stopping by today. I really enjoyed our talk. And please don't forget, hit that like button. Leave me a comment. Let me know what projects you're working on, what projects you finished, what events you might be working on. And most importantly, you all know, I want to know how you are. And please go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as that bell notification, because you'll be notified every time I upload a video. Friends, until I see you again, God bless you. Take care. Happy crafting. Goodbye now.